In a world where corruption and deceit run rampant, one group of renegades has risen up to fight for justice and the truth. With fists of fury and a never-ending thirst for the truth, they charge headfirst into the fray of politics to expose the lies and bring down the powerful. From the gritty streets of Washington, D.C. to the luxurious halls of power, they fearlessly tackle the most pressing issues of our time. This is Half Past Goons, where the only thing more explosive than the political climate is the passion and determination of those fighting to make a difference. Get ready for the ride of your life as we dive headfirst into the action and never look back. Buckle up, because it's going to be a wild ride.
But this is all because of a larger story. The actual reason he's being arrested is, I'm sure a lot of people remember this being in the news cycle when he was first president and running for president even. But our beloved and very wonderful actor, she's been in the scene forever. I remember being in high school, in middle school, and seeing her work. That was his hand over his face. Adult film star Stormy Daniels was paid off.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Whoa,
I was
allegedly.
getting there.
Well, no,
Allegedly.
she was paid off. That's not alleged.
Hey. Whoa. Whose side are you on?
You're guilty or innocent until proven guilty.
No,
Joe.
this is literally a fact. I just want to make sure that that's out there.
$30,000 changed hands, allegedly. What was it for? We don't know. We don't know.
Well,
Was
legal
it campaign
fees.
funds? We don't know. We don't know. But
Well, we don't know if it was campaign funds. That's true.
that's the allegedly part.
That's the allegedly part. But we know that she received a payment from Michael Cohen, who pled guilty to this already.
Yeah.
We know that it was $130,000, and we know that Trump reimbursed him.
Well, that it's really nice of him.
But we don't know if it was campaign funds.
I see. Well,
Or maybe we do. Do we know? We don't. I don't think we know it's campaign funds.
I thought it was, but I'm not sure.
I think it's allegedly campaign funds.
That is
Yeah.
what would make it illegal.
I think it's illegal either way.
Yeah. So this is going against Trump because he paid off this porn star through his lawyer, right?
Which he
Michael
denies,
Cohen.
by the way. He still denies it.
He denies that it was because of a sexual act, trying to cover it up.
Yeah, I think he denies the affair still. Right?
Yeah, he denies the affair, but he doesn't deny the covering up. Or he blames he blames Michael Cohen for everything. He says it was his idea to cover it up. It was his money. I never reimbursed him.
President, did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels?
Those $130,000 illegal fees were for something else. I spent. So this has become a big news story because Trump tweeted out that he was going to be arrested on Tuesday, leading to the calls for protest, which, as we just talked about, didn't really happen. But it's become an even bigger story because Republicans in the House are using their newfound majority to demand testimony from the district attorney, Alvin Bragg, who has become a new prominent name in the media. And they're seeking to kind of look into the investigation, which is unprecedented.
Yeah. Well, I think what they want to do is they want to call him in front of a committee, obviously, ask him why Trump is being punished, but Hunter Biden isn't. That's kind of their angle is like, they're not saying that Trump didn't do anything wrong. They're saying more, why is Trump not allowed to do things wrong when everybody else is doing things wrong?
Yeah.
Which is valid. No,
think
man,
it's
that's valid. Like, why does the guy we like have to be prosecuted for his crimes? There's a lot of other people out there with crimes.
What's up with that? I thought this was America.
So generally, this is seen as an attempt to kind of influence the way that the grand jury investigation is going.
an intimidation tactic.
Right? But it's just there's no precedent into why this is being investigated, right? It's really marrying other acts that the House has been using now with their newfound majority, just investigating before they have a reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking for a reason to investigate during the investigation.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's about threats, isn't it? It's about threatening the legal career and the political career of Alvin Bragg. It's about trying to get under his skin and, stop him from going after the big boy.
But it is interesting to note that he's the first. I mean, this is an old case, right? This is 2016. We knew about this during the election. This is not new. No New York DA has ever decided that this is something that they wanted to prosecute. But, Alvin all of a sudden thinks he's got, and we still don't know. He hasn't been indicted yet, so we still don't know what evidence he has. But
right,
Alvin thinks he's got this in the bag. So I trust him.
Yep.
I also trust him, but there are doubts from nonpartisan legal experts that kind of question whether there is even a case against Trump for this.
Yeah. Which is funny because it's funny that that we know that a crime happened. There's evidence of the crime, and we still can't get the criminal to pay for those. Not even a little punishment. He's just allowed to skate for 6 years.
Not even a perp walk.
Not even anything.
It's pretty ridiculous, though, when you think about it, that somebody else went to jail for this exact crime. Somebody went to jail, served their time already for this crime, and we're questioning whether or not Donald Trump is in trouble for the crime that he was a part of.
It was ridiculous because that was brought up time and time again during his presidency.
He still won.
Wait, what?
The first election, not the second. We'll talk about that, but
we'll talk about that. But I remember Cohen was literally sent to jail for this during his presidency.
Yes.
It's so bizarre that I know it was a big story, but how it just wasn't career ending.
Trump has got this aura of invincibility where he can just do the wrong thing constantly, and his supporters, who are supposed to be Christian, conservatives, they just turn a blind eye for no reason, just because they like him. I guess I really don't know what their stance is on Trump paying a porn star off.
They want to do this. They want to do kissies. Kissies with Trump.
It's really weird how he's been able to maintain this crazy base that he has, while also completely going against everything that they say that they believe.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a politician quite like Trump been able to. I mean, Trump famously said, "I could shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue and I could get away with it, and I wouldn't lose.
Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's incredible.
I believe him. I honestly believe him. I think he would win the Republican nomination if he shot somebody in the street of Fifth Avenue.
And I think it's interesting, this is a kind of a side point, but the more news about Trump doing crimes and getting almost arrested, maybe, we'll see, but the more news there is about it, the better he seems to perform. It's like his supporters want the government to go after him so that they can rush to his defense, regardless of whether he's innocent or not.
I think that there's something to Republicans and their victim complex that they have.
Yeah, they really do have a big victim complex.
I think that when they see one of their own finally getting attacked, or not finally, but he's Trump's the most persecuted man in America.
Most persecuted man in America. It's a damn shame.
It's a damn shame. But the more they see that, the more they want to they just owning the libs, and they like knowing that your lib prosecutor, your George Soros funded prosecutor is going after Donald Trump. So that means that he's owning them, actually.
Yeah.
Which is...
It's really weird. I don't get the dynamic at all, but it's been working for him. If I'm Trump, I might just start doing crimes on purpose.
Well, he has been.
He basically has been.
Doing like more, but he's still denying them. Like, why deny it at this point? Say,
Well, I
yeah,
think
I
that's
did those
the
crimes.
the
Why is it a
point.
crime?
Like, he's doing it and denying it, and that's what's making it popular. Because then it seems like they're going out to get it.
No, because here's the thing. I honestly believe that Trump supporters know that he's committing these crimes too. They just think it's cool.
Yeah.
I think they're too stupid to realize that Donald Trump is actually guilty of these crimes. They just don't care.
I think
Yes,
a
I
lot
agree.
of them are, Joe. I think a lot of them really do think he's
I think it's a split. Some of them genuinely believe he's being politically prosecuted, but then half of them, their defense is always, well, that's not a crime. That's no.
What about Hunter Biden?
Yeah, what about the laptop? Yeah,
Right.
I saw Hunter Biden's pee-pee. I saw those pictures. What about the laptop? Right?
And we're not talking enough about it.
No, genuinely, their excuse, I feel like from a lot of them are, it isn't warranted, it's not actually a crime, or it's politically motivated.
Right.
Right.
It's like the fact that the government is going after what they believe are their political rivals in Trump is the government's political rival. It's like they think that they're just trying to ruin, or they're just trying to arrest the field so that there's nobody to compete against. But they won't look at Trump and say, wait a minute, is there a reason that he might be doing it, like he might be getting prosecuted for all these crimes, or is it just that they don't want any competition and they want to just steamroll elections?
Yeah. So he said he was going to be arrested on Tuesday. As we all know, it is not now Tuesday. As for this recording, it's Thursday, and the grand jury actually hasn't met today or Wednesday, I believe.
Right. I think they're scheduled to meet on Monday.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's a lot of speculation in the background about whether this last witness kind of swayed the jury, whether the other investigation into the documents at Mar-a-Lago are kind of causing this case to be pushed back. We're kind of out of the loop about what's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
How many rounds of golf you think Trump gets in before he gets indicted?
How many more?
He's going to be playing golf in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I really want to know why the previous prosecutor did not pursue this case against
I'm
Trump.
also very curious about that.
I think it all comes down to the case relies on Michael Cohen's testimony, and he's not a very trustworthy guy. Clearly, he's a criminal. But if that's what your case is built around, you're not likely to win, especially when you're indicting a former president of the United States. Like, that's big. That's big.
Yeah.
So,
But they must have corroborating evidence. Like,
Right.
this money came and went from somewhere. Like, this isn't cash that they're handing over, probably. There is evidence from where this money came from and what.
It's a lot of money. You'd think you'd be able to track that much money.
Well, there's a picture of Michael Cohen has a picture of a check from Donald Trump.
No way.
Made out, yeah, this is like the number one piece of evidence. He showed this in the House committee 7 years ago, 8 years ago. I don't remember how many years ago it is now.
Please tell me the memo is like for that porn star.
I don't remember what the memo said, but the picture is literally like a check made of $40,000. It's one of the 3 or 4 checks that he got that was made out to Michael Cohen to reimburse him, and it's signed by Donald Trump. Like, it's like the most incriminating evidence you could possibly get.
Good Lord Almighty.
But it's 7 years old. I mean, what's changed? Do you think there might be? I mean, obviously there's political motivations behind the prosecution. I'm not here to deny that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening. They don't want him to run again. They think it's easier to beat Ron DeSantis
Ron DeSanctimonious.
than it is to beat Trump, which I agree. But why now? Like, what's changed?
I think that I would honestly say that I don't think that that's factored into the calculus. I think that Alvin Bragg is purely thinking about his own sort of. If you're going to think about something, like, if you're going to accuse the prosecutor of being self-motivated, I think that there's ample enough evidence that he's like a political actor. So, like, if he prosecutes the president and he goes after the president and he gets this big fish, then he's surely to be elected next time.
Yeah.
But or maybe even he'll run for attorney, like he'll be the attorney general of New York State, or he'll want to do something else like big like that. But I don't know. I'm not also. We could talk about whether or not it's easier to beat DeSantis or beat Trump. That's a point I would like to contest.
But that's a theory for next time.
But if it was like landing this huge fish guarantees you winning your next whatever 3 elections, whatever you want to go for, you're basically a political superstar after you get Trump. Why not the previous? Why haven't the previous?
Didn't have the balls.
They don't have the balls.
I
I feel like it's got to be more complicated. That like if they could, they would.
I think it probably has to do with the fact that they would have been the first people to prosecute. I think it was first off, what was his name? Joyce Vance, the previous prosecutor, I think was his name. He was retiring, so I think he probably didn't want this to be on his plate before he retired. Yeah. I'm too old for this. Probably one of those,
Right.
one of those cases. But I think that does probably have to do with it. I think that maybe he just wanted to hand the decision off to somebody else. I mean, a lot of people did pass on this case, so it is worth wondering why Alvin Bragg is deciding to bring it up at this point. I think it probably made more sense for him. It would have taken the heat off him a little bit if he waited for one of these other prosecutions that Donald Trump's going through to drop, like whether that be like the documents case or like the election subversion case in Georgia or like the fraud case that's also going on in New York.
Right. I feel like the Georgia one is probably the most criminal. I mean, they're all criminal.
Yeah, no, easily.
The worst one.
Yeah, and he's probably the most certain to be indicted for that one. Even more certain than him being indicted for this one.
Right.
And we know that he's about to be indicted for this one, basically.
You think it's just a case of somebody had to be first, so it's get your less heavy hitters out of the way before maybe the...
That probably is I could be convinced that that's the case.
I would agree that would make more sense to get the smaller cases out first than the big one.
Because that Georgia case is, I mean, that one's damning. That phone call that he's calling the...
Perfect phone call.
Right.
There was nothing wrong with that phone call. He was a dear friend.
Threatening him to overturn the election. Not even giving him an easy out. Just saying hey, this was stolen from you, right? So change it.
What's the quote? I need 30,000 votes. He's like, I just need 30,000 votes. You can find me those votes.
It was exact. I just need 30,412 votes.
So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes.
I know you know where they are. Just go get them.
Yeah.
Right.